A brand new study shows that semaglutide, aka Wegovy, aka Ozempic, has a long-term side effect that you need to know about. This study was originally published in May of 2024. It is an additional analysis to the SELECT trial, which was the original trial that showed Wegovy could actually reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by approximately 20% in individuals with obesity and no diabetes. This is the study right here by Ryan and friends. It was a continuation of the SELECT trial where participants were either on Wegovy or placebo and followed for 208 weeks or approximately 4 years. And hey, if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for the ongoing support. I can't tell you how much it means and how much it boosts up my self-esteem. If you haven't subscribed yet, then you definitely need to. That button is down below. And don't forget to turn on those notifications so you never miss out when I put out another video. So what did Ryan and friends find? Well, based on this graph right here, they found that Wegovy, aka semaglutide, led to a 10% weight loss from baseline. Participants would lose weight until approximately week 65, and then they sustained that weight loss for a full 4 years. That is the long-term side effect that they found with Wegovy. Okay, if you haven't actually caught on yet, that's not actually a side effect in any form or fashion. Although there will be people in the comment section that will try to say otherwise. And for them, again, GLP-1 is a satiety hormone. It works within the reward centers of our brain and within the hypothalamus and decreases our food-seeking behaviors. It decreases our craving for food and our hunger to allow us to achieve a calorie deficit and ultimately lose weight, which helps us to manage obesity. So there was no long-term side effects that were actually found with Wegovy over this 4-year period. This was actually one of the longest randomized controlled trials that we have to date with the GLP-1 receptor agonist. So it's very cool in that sense that we have a very long span of data, and we got some very pronounced results in that Wegovy can lead to that substantial weight loss, and that weight loss can be sustained for a long period of time. Because if we go back to that graph there, you can see that line is good and flat. In comparison, when we look at this graph here with Saxenda, you can see that over that 3-year period, yes, people lost weight, but that line was starting to trend upwards as people gained weight while they were still on the medication. And hey, if you want some additional information on the GLP-1 receptor agonist, maybe you just want a little handout for yourself, maybe you want a little handout you can take and talk to your doctor about, then you definitely want to go and check out the links down below, input your email address and select the GLP-1 handout. You will then get that handout directly sent to your email, and it has the breakdown of what the GLP-1s do, what are the things you need to be concerned about, and what are the most common GLP-1 receptor agonist-based medications like Wegovy, Ozempic, and Zepbound that are currently on the market. So check it out so you don't miss out. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably saying, well, I thought Wegovy led to approximately 15% weight loss from baseline. At which point I would say, you are correct. So the big thing about this SELECT trial is that its focus wasn't on weight loss. Participants were originally enrolled into this trial in order to get a cardiovascular benefit from the medication. They had heart disease or a history of heart disease, at least most of them did, and they got put into the trial to go on the drug to potentially reduce the risk of having another heart attack, stroke, and that sort of thing. And so they weren't counseled or told that they need to be in a calorie deficit, that they need to lose weight, that they need to achieve X amount of activity. They did get some counseling on what is a healthy diet and what is exercise and how it can be beneficial for your heart, but weren't given any specific parameters that were hopefully going to push them and allow them to lose weight. So that's why the participants only saw approximately a 10% loss from baseline. And if there had been more of a focus on the weight loss component, participants probably would have lost more weight, but really what the focus and what we want to take away from this is the durability of that weight loss over the 4-year period. Again, that line was super flat. The people were not gaining the weight back over a period of time like we saw with Saxenda. They were sustaining and maintaining that weight loss long term. And yes, as I already mentioned, they did look at the actual side effects that came from the medication, and they didn't find anything particularly new. There was no cancers that came out, no fun, weird side effect of any kind. It was the standard side effects that we expect at the start, with people getting some GI, nausea, heartburn, constipation, diarrhea, and that sort of thing. But those all subsided as the individuals got onto the medication and got onto the appropriate dose that worked for to them, and they subsided for the duration of the trial. So while we already have a lot of experience with the GLP-1 receptor agonist molecules, over 20 plus years of studying these drugs and stuff like that, this trial definitely adds to the robustness of that data to show that these medications are indeed safe, they can be used long term, and looks like they're not going to cause any kind of weird and wonderful effects. The only thing we might get is you'll get to sustain the weight that you lose. So there you have it, you beautiful people. That is the long-term side effect of Wegovy. That's not actually a side effect, it just is the effectiveness of the medication. Nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this video today, and of course, if you did, please share it, send it out to all of your friends and family and anybody that you think might benefit from it. As well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you already haven't. Again, it helps me to boost up my self-esteem and makes me feel pretty darn good when everybody subscribes. As well, don't forget to sign up for the OG members membership side of my YouTube channel. Every single month I do a live with the OG members where I talk about topics that don't show up in my regular YouTube feed. As well, I do a live Q&A with the members there, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and you want an answer in real time, then you should definitely sign up and be there. As well, check me out on my other channels. I'm on the Tick, the Talk, the Gram, you name it, we're out there. At the official Dr. Dan is the handle. And as I always love to sign off, please remember that it's going to be those small tweaks that lead to the massive peaks.